For number 1, my personal preference would just be to do elimination. So we're just going to add row 1 and row 2 together. And what happens is the x terms cancel out. We get 6y equals negative 36. So solving for y, we divide both sides by 6, and y is negative 6. I'm going to plug that into row 1. So I get negative 4x minus 2 times negative 6 equals negative 12. So negative 4x plus 12 equals negative 12. So negative 4x is negative 24, and x is positive 6. So the answer should be 6, negative 6. Since I used row 1 to solve, I'll check in row 2. Here I get 24, and then minus 48 is negative 24, so that works. For number 2, since y is already solved for, I'll go ahead and use substitution. So I'm going to sub the y from row 1 into, from row 2 into row 1. So I get 9x minus 3 times y equals 15. But the y that I'm looking at is 3x minus 5. So we get 9x minus 9x plus 15 equals 0. Equals 15. And the 9x's cancel out, and then we get 15 equals 15. And that's always going to be true. When that happens, we have infinitely many ordered pairs. Here, y is already solved for. So what I would do, I would say it's going to be all the ordered pairs x, y, such that x is all real numbers and y is 3x minus 5. Okay, if x had been solved for instead, I would have had x equals something in terms of y, and then I would have had y as all real numbers. For 3, I notice that 14 and negative 7, if I just double this, I can eliminate. So I'm going to go row 1 plus twice row 2. So row 1 doesn't change. And I'm going to multiply the second row by 2. Add those guys together. We get negative 4x equals negative 16. Divide by 4 and you get x, or divide by negative 4 and you get x equals positive 4. I'm going to plug into row 1. So then we get 8 times 4 plus 14y equals 4. So 32 plus 14y equals 4. Subtract 32 from both sides and you get negative 28. So y is negative 2. So we have 4, negative 2. Since I plugged it in row 1, I'll just check and make sure that works in row 2. Here I get negative 24 plus 14 equals negative 10, and that is true. All right, for number 4, let's see what we got here. I am going to use elimination, and since the y's have opposite values, I'm going to go ahead and eliminate the y's. And what that's going to require me to do is I'm going to have to multiply the first row by 9, and I'm going to have to multiply the second row by 4. So in the first row, we get 45x plus 36y equals negative 270. And the second row, we're going to get 12x minus 36y equals negative 72. Okay. So then 45 plus 12 is going to be 57x. 57x, and then equals, this is going to become negative 342. Divide both sides by 57, and x is negative 6. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and plug into row 1. So then we have 5 times negative 6 plus 4y equals negative 30. And this is negative 30 plus 4y equals negative 30. So then 4y equals 0 and y is 0. So I get negative 6, 0. And then we can check, since I plugged into row 1, I'll use row 2 to check. I get negative 18 minus 0 is negative 18, and we're good to go.